Hi everyone, welcome to the Elevate Mindset. Hope you are well. Take care of yourself. Subscribe and like the motivational video. The video opens with slow shots of empty streets at dawn, the world still half asleep. A lone figure walks with heavy steps, carrying the silent burden only they can feel. The air looks cold, and every breath they take shows struggle and exhaustion. Their face is tired, but their eyes show a spark that refuses to die. The narrator speaks softly, almost like a whisper inside the viewer's mind. They talk about how pain isn't loud, it's quiet, heavy, and personal. It lingers in your chest, in your thoughts, in the moments you don't post online. Everyone carries something invisible, and yet, somehow, everyone believes they are alone in it. A close-up shows a character stopping and staring at their reflection in a dark window. Their reflection doesn't look weak, it looks unfinished. The narrator reminds the viewer that pain is not a punishment. It is a beginning. The moment you stop fighting your pain is the moment you start learning from it. Rain begins to fall, soft at first, then harder. The character stands still, soaking, letting it wash over them as the narrator explains how easy it is to complain. Complaining feels natural. It feels like release. But release without growth becomes a cage. The scene shifts to people scrolling on their phones, complaining online, venting, blaming the world. Their words float across the screen like smoke, disappearing as quickly as they appear. The narrator says that complaining never built anything. It only delays the rebuild that life is trying to give you. Back to the lone character, they close their eyes and take a breath. Instead of asking, "Why me?" they ask, "What now?" The narrator says the strongest people are not the ones who never hurt, but the ones who stop complaining long enough to hear what their pain is teaching them. The rain stops. The sky remains gray, but there's a calmness now. The narrator explains that pain is not random. It arrives to expose the weak pieces of you that need strengthening. It shows you what needs rebuilding. Visuals show memories flashing, heartbreak, failure, rejection, betrayal, disappointment. Each memory is sharp but short, fading into the next. The character watches these moments as if witnessing their own past from outside themselves. The narrator explained that pain is a mirror. It shows you who you are, but more importantly, who you could be if you rise. Pain pushes you because growth cannot come from comfort. It's not meant to destroy you. It's designed to rebuild you from the ground up. The character starts moving with purpose, walking faster, stepping harder. The world around them begins to brighten slightly. The narrator says that rebuilding begins the moment you choose action, not the moment you feel ready. You will rarely feel ready. The camera shows them tying their shoelaces, wiping their face, breathing deep, preparing for something. The narrator emphasizes that progress starts with one decision, to stand up again. Not perfectly, not confidently, just stand. Their eyes open with clarity. That spark seen earlier grows stronger. They haven't won yet, but for the first time, they've stopped losing. That single choice is the beginning of the comeback. The character begins to run. Not fast, not elegant, but determined. Their breath is heavy, their feet pound the ground, and every step looks like a battle. The narrator explains that the first steps in any rebuild always hurt the most because your body and mind resist change. The scene switches between their run and people in different situations. Someone starting a business late at night. Someone lifting weights with shaky arms. Someone studying after a long shift. Rebuilding looks different for everyone, but the pain feels the same. The narrator stresses that this pain is not a sign to stop. It is proof you're moving. It is a sound of old weaknesses breaking apart. If it doesn't challenge you, it cannot change you. The run continues, but now the screen slows down, capturing the character fighting with themselves. Their face shows exhaustion. Their mind screams to quit. The narrator talks about the quiet war, the one inside your head that tries to pull you back into your old life. Visuals show flashes of their past self, lazy days, excuses, missed chances, empty promises. These ghosts chase them, trying to reclaim who they used to be. The narrator explains that the hardest opponent you will ever face is your old habits. But the character keeps running, not because they are strong right now, but because they refuse to stay weak. The narrator says winning this internal war is the true meaning of rebuilding. The scenery shifts to warm sunlight touching the horizon. The character slows down, placing both hands on their knees, breathing heavily. But they are smiling now, a small, honest smile. The narrator explains that breakthrough moments come after long stretches of pain and doubt. A montage shows the character's improvements, running faster, pushing harder, becoming sharper. Life doesn't suddenly get easy, but the person becomes stronger. The narrator says that you don't rise because life becomes kinder. You rise because you become tougher. As their confidence grows, so does the light around them. The world hasn't changed. They have, and that is the first real victory. The video now shows a routine forming. Early mornings, sweat, discipline, focus. The narrator explains that rebuilding is not an explosion, it's a pattern. Tiny, consistent actions that compound into something unbreakable. Shots of calendars filled with check marks, notebooks with goals, gym sessions, small wins. The character doesn't look like the defeated person from scene 1 anymore. Their posture is stronger. Their eyes are sharper. Their presence is louder. The narrator emphasizes that consistency is a replacement for complaints. You stop talking about the pain because you're too busy growing through it. You stop explaining your struggle because your results speak louder. Now the characters stand at the top of a hill, overlooking the bright city. Their breathing is steady. Their fists are relaxed. They are no longer running away from pain. They are running toward their potential. The narrator explains that the goal was never perfection. It was transformation. Becoming the kind of person who does not complain, does not fold, does not break when life gets heavy. Pain becomes a tool instead of a threat. The character smiles with confidence. They are not fixed. They are rebuilt. Stronger, wiser, sharper, hungrier. They become the version of themselves they once thought was impossible. The screen fades to black for a moment, allowing silence to deepen the message. Then, slowly, the narrator speaks directly to the viewer. They say the pain you feel right now is not the end. It is the beginning of your rebuild. Visually, the character walks forward into the light, no longer weighed down, no longer lost. The narrator encourages the viewer to embrace their hardships, to stop fearing discomfort, to stop complaining and start transforming. Every scar becomes a blueprint for strength. The video ends with one final shot, the character standing tall, facing the sun, and the narrator leaves the viewer with a final line. Don't run from the pain. Rebuild through it. Your future is waiting.